Welcome to Ray's Corner. Another special edition. We have in the backdrop, Time Is Now by Tammy Meekins. We were talking yesterday about, the Black Male Handbook by Kevin Powell. Talked about you the best. No matter what it looks like, no matter what's depressing, oppression, racism, all that stuff, that you young men and women, you still the best. The best will still come out of you. You know, I know y'all not used to me not having my hat on, but I'm on a serious mode right now. So, when we talked about the B, we talked about blowing up some negative mindsets. We got to start blowing up our negative mindsets about things. Traditions, religions, and all that stuff, just blow out that negative condemnation that's in our mind, right? So we want to talk about, when we talk about being the best, we said we're going to go through this BEST, and I just want to read this to you. I'm actually going to read this whole chapter to you real quick, and it's not a whole chapter, all about the letter E, right? When you talk about, after we blow up that negative mindset, right, we've got to educate ourselves. Watch this. We need to educate ourselves to engineer and erect institutions. So we have to engineer and erect institutions once we start thinking right. We start erecting, we start engineering, we start building stuff up, right? Institutions, something that will stand. You know what I'm saying? So the time is now to start doing that. So just let me read this to you. There's a scholarship in the state of Georgia called the Hope Scholarship. The state uses lottery money for students with a B average who otherwise would be unable to afford it. That's great, right? Okay, that's great. There are other federal, state, and local government programs that look to help a few from our community who would not have been able to make it. So that's good. So you got some stuff going on. They got this fun, B students, young black men, women can get in school. You got other agencies. But watch this. However, the state should not be our meal ticket to self-sufficiency. I'm going to say that again. However, the state should not be our meal ticket to self-sufficiency. Until we as black males begin to build institutions that fund and take care of ourselves, we will constantly be waiting on funding to run out. I'm going to read that again. Until we as black males, we're talking to black males right now. I'm not talking to the females. We're talking to black males, right? Talking to black males. Until we, as black men, black males, begin to build institutions, erect and engineer institutions that fund and take care of themselves, meaning to be self-sufficient, right? We will constantly be waiting on funding to run out, handouts. And by the time, watch this, okay, black people spend too much money in America not to have our own institutions and to continue to beg the federal, state government, and local folks for funds. Let me read that again, because I don't think that came out fluently enough. Black people spend too much money in America not to have our own institutions and to continue to beg the federal and state government and local folks for funds. Now, not that we don't deserve them, but we should be using our own wealth to build our own institutions. We should be doing this thing on our own. We generate 1.4, 1.2, 1.3, 1.5, however the figure is, $1 trillion a year as the African American community to be able to erect, engineer our own institutions, our own schools, our own businesses. I'm not saying the government don't deserve. We built this nation. We deserve to get what we get. That's okay. We understand that. Now, I'm not saying we don't deserve it, but what I'm saying is we generate and we spend too much not to be doing it on our own. They can assist, but we can do it on our own. Okay. We need to begin to engineer programs that go beyond sufficiency, right? Cotton candy programs to make people feel good but create no fundamental change. We got all these programs that get funded, Nobody's not changing. Nobody's not getting no jobs. Nobody's not erecting no institutions. Nobody's starting no businesses. All this stuff that we're doing, we're getting funded, grants and all that stuff for. And guess what? Nothing is coming of it, right? No change. We become so comfortable with the rhetoric of leadership that we never look for the very transformation that defines real leadership. I'm gonna read that again. Okay? We become so comfortable with the rhetoric of leadership that we never look for the very transformation that defines real leadership. We never look for what real leadership is supposed to do. It transforms lives. It transforms one. Look, you come into this program one way, you come into this situation one way, and the leaders, when you leave a different way. You leave a better way. You leave more equipped. You leave more equipped and prepared to do whatever that purpose and plan that God has for your life. But we're going in places, going in one way, and we coming out the same way. In some cases, we coming out worse. So the time is now to make some changes. We've got to begin to educate young men to change their thinking and the perception of what black men are in the media to what we know black men are supposed to be. It's not what we hear in the media that tells us who we are or defines who black men are. It's who you really are. We have to start, erecting institutions that will allow these young black men, black males, to understand who they truly are, that they are the best, that they're gifted, that they're talented. You got to think about this. You got these young brothers on the corners doing all this drug dealing and all these different sets and everything. When you look at some of the schemes that they have out there, that denotes intelligence. It might not be on the right side of the law, but that denotes intelligence. These dudes is making millions of dollars and things like that. We need to show them how to take that same creativity and make it right that we can create wealth for our families, for our loved ones, for our communities, that we can start erecting institutions and things like that. And we're not just talking about the young brothers that's on the corner. We're talking about older people, younger people. Older people, we need to start changing our spending habits. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to spend with Walmart, spend with this, spend with that, but you never want to spend with the people that look like you, that's going to try to help you. Our churches generate $40 billion a year. $40 billion a year. American black churches. I know y'all don't want to hear that, saying it ain't no such thing as a black church, but there are black congregations in the United States that house black African American people, and they generate $40 billion a year. And where is that $40 billion a year going if we still have poverty in the same neighborhood the church in, and people are not eating in the same neighborhood the church in? And look, I'm not church bashing. I'm making an observation. When you want to talk about the Bible said, and they were all on one accord and nobody lacked anything. It was given according to their needs. So I'm here to tell you, the E is time to erect and engineer institutions that we can start being self-sufficient, that we, with this wealth that we're giving to everybody else, we need to create it for ourselves. That, look, there's nothing wrong with the grants and stuff like that. I'm not telling you not to get grants and stuff like that. But what I'm telling you, when that grant run out, what you going to do? You got to take your nonprofit to create for-profit entities so that your nonprofit can be self-sufficient by your for-profit entity. And we got to start learning that lesson. You create a nonprofit to create for-profit entities that will then seed back into your nonprofit so your nonprofit can be self-sufficient. See, they don't want to teach you that. Nor do you want to bring people out like myself to teach you how to do that on your own. You keep bringing in these handkerchief head people into your churches, into your workshops, paying them millions of dollars, thousands of dollars, and ain't nothing different when they leave. And I'm trying to tell you, look, we got people that has the podium with no power. Now it's going to be people like us with power, and we're going to start getting the podium. And you need to start understanding, right, that the time is now. When you bring somebody into your place to do a workshop, there should be a change. There should be a transformation in your people's lives. There should be a transformation in your organization or your church. There should be a physical transformation. You shouldn't have to wait for your 501c3. You shouldn't have to wait for putting together a proposal. All that stuff should be done in the midst of a 5-day workshop. Ask me how I know, because that's what I do. Am I promoting my business? I always promote my business, because if I don't promote it, y'all ain't going to promote it. Will you ever call me? Some of y'all call me, some of y'all don't. That's on you. I'm formulating. I'm dealing with some young brothers right out of Camden, New Jersey, man. They be hunting, Denny Brown, John Royal, Malcolm. What's Malcolm? I forgot Malcolm's last name. I know Malcolm's last name. Couple other young brothers, man. These brothers are entrepreneurs. These brothers are moving, shaking. Got my support. Sister Miss Eastland. I have a problem with all these new names, right? I should know how to do them. But they got a lot of young, that Hassan. They got a lot, Brother Wasim. We got a lot of young brothers out there that's trying to do some things, young sisters out there that's trying to do some things, I'm going to help them out, you know what I'm saying? Do some workshops for them, give them some advice, seed into them, But it's time, because they're the best. No matter what their condition is, they're the best. You got my cousin, Ab and Jackie, Lukman, doing Lukman Nation. They'll be coming on Saturdays now, doing a powerful work. Got my little nephew out, Ronnie Jr. out there in Oklahoma, out there in Oregon. So we're gonna be doing some national stuff. Look, I gotta get ready to get on the phone because I'm still working. I got to be answering these phones and everything. Hold on a second. Exodus House, could you hold, please? Exodus House, could you hold, please? So I'm going back to work and do what I do. You know what I'm saying? So Ray's Corner once again coming to you. You ain't gonna be live by the time you see it. Give me a call, Exodus House NO. Hit me up in the inbox. You need me to come out and do something in your organization or your church. Now it's a fee. It's a free. This ain't no freebie. We always want stuff free. Because we black owned business, we want freebies and discounts and all that. No, let me help you. It's best when you invest in yourself. That's when you really get stuff going. But I'm giving a shout out to all my people. I got some more stuff going on. We did the B and the E of best. Then we're going to start with the S maybe later on tonight. Ray's Corner, Camden's in the house. Peace out. Holla.